Jesus walks on water, not Peter and not the clergy. Reading from the Gospel of Matthew. Sorry, hope I don't scare you away with that. This is your old friend. He's old, he may not be your friend. Paul Lennon, ex-priest, I said in the announcement, but it's probably nicer to say former priest, as they say in the US of A. Anyway, that's what's going on here. A brief commentary on this particular gospel, Jesus walking on the water. And again, not Peter and not the clergy. Now, already I'm in trouble now because I'm reading from the Bible of Jerusalem, and the heading, this particular part of chapter 14, verses 22, etc. It says, Jesus walks on the water, and with him Peter. Well, I'm begging to differ, as they say. And as I said at the beginning, Peter really makes a mess of this anyway. And going back to one of my favorite themes, big problem in Ireland and in many Catholic countries, and the collapse of Catholicism or Catholic devotion, of people believing, of people going to Mass, of people no longer taking the sacraments, is that the big priest scandal, and then the nun scandal, and then the whole idea of the church being a total mess and corrupt, etc. And there we had, of course, our friend Sinead reminding us of this constantly, and a lot of the Irish people were just swallowing that, all that bad propaganda for the Catholic Church, and I repeat, the Catholic hierarchy. Okay, so part of the problem, I make it very clear here, is that our Catholicity, as I say, in many countries, especially in those great Catholic countries by tradition, was centered on the priest. It's a priest-centered Catholicity. As I said to a friend of mine the other day, that she was talking to me about all the priests and Father so-and-so, and she was still doing that kind of thing. She was a Latin American lady, but she was, telling me about Father Larrañaga and Father so-and-so and all this kind of thing. And I said to her, I think I may have lost her friendship immediately, or the budding friendship. I said, don't put priests on pedestals. Now, that's a lovely alliteration now that we have here now. What do you think of that, James Joyce? Don't put priests on pedestals. So Jesus is walking on the water, and Jesus is our Savior, and he's doing the miracle, or the Father is doing the miracle to him. They're suspending the laws of nature. They want to get our attention. They got their disciples' attention. The disciples thought that something tremendous was happening. They were scared, but really I think it was religious awe. If you ever have this experience, I highly recommend it. Better than putting your priest on a pedestal is to have some experience of God. If you ever have an experience, religious experience once in your life, that will transform you and maybe get rid of all your old doubts, like I always had in my head, even when I was a priest. That's all I'm going to say for today. Leave you off the hook. Paul Lennon, born in Dublin, educated in Spain. Don't know about being educated. Anyway, studied in Spain, studied in Rome, missionary in Mexico, recovery in the United States, where I got my master's in counseling, mental health counseling, where I made my second life and met my first wife. And here we are. But that's it. That's the Jesus walking on the waters. I won't belabor the point. Take out your old Bible if you have one. Matthew 14, 22 to 33. Peter made a mess of this, so that's what I'm saying. Don't put too much of your trust in the Peters, okay? And don't be Pope-centered or clergy-centered or bishop-centered, but Jesus, as they say there in the old revivals. Jesus is the man, and we so believe that he is our Savior. I like to think from time to time, if everything fell down on me and I lost my faith and all that kind of thing, I'd still probably cling on to something about Jesus. And the phrase that I like very much from the Gospels is, Lord, to whom shall we go?